children, welcome to my English class. Today we would study a poem Ulysses by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Let us know about the poet. Alfred Tennyson, 6th August 1809 to 6th October 1892, was a British poet. He was the poet laureate during much of Queen Victoria's reign and remains one of the most popular British poets. Let's understand the poem line-wise. Ulysses is a dramatic monologue. The speaker, Ulysses himself, reflecting on his current domestic situation, looking back to when his life was exciting, looking forward to more of the same now that his son Telemachus can rule the kingdom of Ithaca. Lines 1 to 5 explanation. The opening 2 lines and a half suggest that the speaker is observing an idle king, and it's only when the rest of line 3 is read that the first person is revealed. This is Ulysses himself, bemoaning the fact that he is stuck at home. Just look at the language: little profit, idle, still, barren, aged. Words that imply emptiness and stagnation. That phrase mete and dole means to weigh and measure, but he is having to do it to a savage race unequally, suggesting that he thinks the people uncouth and he feels himself far apart from those he rules. So by the end of line 5, he is already in a difficult position. These lines have caused controversy over the years because for some they lack proper grammar, specifically a comma, which should come after the word that in the first line. Without the comma, the third lines, one mete and dole, seems out of place. But if the first line is read slowly with one ear on the metrical beat, this oppositional opening makes sense. Lines 6 to 17. The confession is out. The speaker Ulysses is restless because he has wanderlust. It's in his being to travel. He wants to drink life to the less, make the most of it, and begins to look back at those times when he was doing just that. Note the contrast set up as this section of the poem progresses: enjoyment or suffering, in loving company or alone, on land or at sea. Ulysses, the hero, warrior, and adventurer, is slowly deteriorating at home. Discontentment rules. Something has to change. The syntax here is complex. The way clauses and grammar are put together, the 11 lines being one complete sentence. Tennyson's use of colons and semicolons, together with enjambment, challenge the reader to make meaningful pauses. This is especially true for lines 6 to 10, where most pauses are midline, which helps break up the steady iambic beat. Hyads is a group of stars in the constellation Taurus, believed to foretell the coming of rain. In line 11, note the use of the word vexed, sometimes written vexed, which means agitated or angered or annoyed. He states that he has become a name, that is, Ulysses is known by many abroad, in contrast to his name at home, where the people know not me, a sad truth. As the poem moves on, the reader becomes increasingly aware of this divide between what Ulysses was to what he has become. His former life was a heady mix of travel, meetings with important men in far-off places, and battle. The alpha male's dream existence. Lines 18 to 21. The next 4 lines sum up Ulysses' existential dilemma in a somewhat abstract image. His past experiences are an integral part of who he is. To elaborate this idea, Tennyson introduces a metaphorical arc through which the future untraveled world appears, to be experienced only when he is moving. So it is forward motion in life that is crucial for Ulysses. Lines 22 to 23. In contrast, these two lines sum up what it feels like to be stuck at home, a passive, resigned figure. This could be a sword that rusts or a shield. Ulysses oxidized on the scrap heap a piece of junk. Lines 24 to 32. More reasons to move on. Breathing might be a sign of life, but not for Ulysses. How many breaths make a life? Time waits for no man. Every hour is precious. Every hour could bring forward new things from out of that eternal silence, death. Ulysses pictures himself in the same wild, horrible position for 3 years or 3 days, 3 suns, when inside he craves travel and knowledge right round the earth and beyond all human thought. The reader can now get a good grasp of what is going on inside Ulysses' heart and mind. Here is a desperate man yearning from his former life, keen to move on. Lines 33 to 43. Ulysses introduces his son Telemachus in an act of abdication. He outlines the qualities that will make his son a successful leader. Through slow prudence and soft degrees to transform a rugged people, no longer a savage race, into useful citizens. That last line contains the essential difference between the two. He works his work, I mine. Telemachus knows nothing of adventure and battle, but will duly rule the kingdom because he is dutiful and ready to take over the household gods. Lines 44 to 61. Ulysses addresses the mariners that have been with him throughout. The sea is calling, a ship awaits. They may be old, death may be around the corner, but before they succumb, there will be one last voyage beyond the sunset and no return. It is crystal clear that Ulysses intends to go out with a bang and not a whimper. He is saying with some conviction that old age is no excuse to sit and do nothing. Life can still be lived, useful work can be done. Lines 62 to 70. They might sink, drown, end up on the happy isles, islands of the blessed in Greek mythology, Elysium abode of the gods for heroes and patriots, located beyond the western horizon, where they'll meet Achilles, greatest of Greek warriors, killer of Hector at Troy, and lead figure in Homer's Iliad. We are what we are, Ulysses says, that is, older now but still full of yearning for new things. He will never give in. So even though time wears us down as we age, even though we may find ourselves depressed and weakened by circumstance, there is always something to strive for. Tennyson's friend Arthur Hallam died young. It was this tragic event that brought the poet initial grief and sadness and caused him to question his own existence and purpose. Ulysses was written to exorcise demons and transform an individual. Change for the better is always possible. out of the darkness and into new light. So, in the end, children, despite his reunion with his wife Penelope and son Telemachus, Ulysses yearns to explore again. Therefore, moral of this poem is, without dissatisfaction there is no growth. Without happiness there is no life. Be happy dissatisfied. Thank you.